Hello, Harris County. Thank you so much for joining us tonight as we present this live cooking workshop with Common Threads. Tonight we'll be exploring China, Thailand, and India through wonderful culinary delights. Chef Dubraska is going to lead us on this journey to celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. During her time in India, Chef Dubraska learned many things about the food, cooking techniques, and what brought people together, the common thread of food and sharing with others. Common Threads is a national nonprofit that provides children and families with cooking and nutrition education to encourage healthy habits that contribute to wellness. Common Threads aspires to build communities that embrace healthy cooking, healthy eating, and celebration of culture. All the recipe links from tonight will be posted, as well as a quick survey that really helps Common Threads to understand the community and to serve you better, so we really encourage you to fill this out. I do want to encourage you throughout the presentation to post your questions in the comments section as you think of them. Chef Dubraska will answer your questions throughout the program as she is able, and then again after the demonstration if time allows. So please welcome Chef Dubraska with Common Threads. Hi, Chef Dubraska. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How is everyone there in Houston today?
We're all doing great. Okay, Chef, we're going to go ahead and let you take it away, okay?
Fantastic. I am so excited about tonight's broadcast because we are going to be celebrating that great community that is the Asian American Pacific and Islanders in the U.S. And doing the research for this class tonight, I encounter myself with so many facts interesting about incredible Asian Americans who have done incredible things for our country in terms of science, education, labor, laws, and number of things that we probably will be talking about during the class, during the broadcast. But also, I encounter all these recipes that actually they're not Chinese or Thailandese or even Asian. They're all recipes that were created in the US by the Asian Americans using the ingredients that we're able to find here in the US. So I am super excited to work today with these three fabulous recipes. We're gonna make a Thai coconut chicken curry, an easy version. I know this is a very complex dish, but we're gonna make it work for you guys at home with simple ingredients and very economical and nutritional. So we're gonna also make a wonderful stir fry, and we're gonna use, instead of rice, we're gonna use soba noodles, which are buckwheat noodles, very delicious, gluten-free. We're gonna use tofu on that one. And last but not least, we're gonna make a mango lassi. And that's a very dear recipe for me because I lived in India almost 3 years. And this is a fabulous, refreshing drink. So we're gonna use fresh mangoes and yogurt, and we're gonna blend that, and we're gonna create this fabulous drink to kind of use it as a dessert after two delicious dishes. So without further ado, we're gonna start working on our stir fry. And why I decided to start with this one? Because I want to make the sauce where we're gonna marinate the tofu. So if you guys post the recipe for the stir fry, also if you can post the recipe for the all-purpose sauce, that will be great. Yeah, that's the Thai curry recipe. So we're gonna start. And remember, guys, these are a healthier version of what what a stir fry will look like at a restaurant. And one of the good things about making these recipes at home is our kids love Chinese food. They love takeout. And why not making it at home? Why not making it healthier and delicious? And maybe asking them to participate. So there are many ways to get our kids working with us. And one of those is by measuring the ingredients. So we have here we're gonna work on making the all-purpose sauce. I'm gonna move a little bit the camera so we can see what I'm doing here. we're gonna use half a cup of light soy sauce first. So we have here one that is low in sodium, so half a cup. And obviously, this is a great sauce not only for marinating tofu or chicken or any protein, or for adding it to a stir fry or even a fried rice or noodles, but it's also a great recipe to use as a salad dressing. Maybe if you have a kale salad, I love to use this sauce or this dressing on it. Another one is to also use it as a dipping sauce for some fruits and vegetables. Okay, that's it, because I didn't want to fill it all up. So we have there about half a cup. We're going to use only half of that in our recipe. We're going to use now a quarter of a cup of rice wine vinegar. And I'm going to show you here what we're using. This is a quarter of a cup. Okay, there you go. You see, guys, this is something that probably your kids will love to do with you in the kitchen. Who doesn't like to measure things? I think my kids used to love that when they were little. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. You know, I got this raw honey. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons. 1. And 2. And it's really good if we can get a spoon to get all that goodness out of my measuring spoon. Okay, so we have to measure now 1 teaspoon of salt. I guess if you have a full soy sauce at home, you don't have a light one, then we can omit the salt on this recipe. And we have also half a teaspoon of black pepper. And I have here, you can use chili powder. You can use chili powder or you can use chili flakes. This is what I have now. I just want to tell you that I am right now doing this broadcast from Las Vegas. I'm on vacation, but still I wanted to be with you guys celebrating this special event. So I'm not in my usual kitchen where I have all my things. So I have here just chili flakes, and they work just as well. Actually, I like them. I like to see those little flakes in the meat or on my tofu or my noodles. Let's give it a quick stir. And we have a beautiful sauce, a beautiful dipping sauce. You can use this also when you have dumplings. I love this sauce. So let's work on our tofu. I'm going to move these carrots out of the way. I'll continue with that later. And I'm going to move my cutting board so you guys can have a better appreciation of what I'm doing. I have here a piece of tofu, and this is an extra firm one. I want to show you this. Probably this way is better. Why I like this one? Because it stays better when you're doing your stir fries. It doesn't, become all mushy. And I already use a paper towel and remove most of the water in it. You can definitely put some weight on top and remove more. But since we're going to dry it up a little bit in the oven, so I think we're done with that, with cleaning it up. I'm going to change my knife since we are cutting a different product. And look what we have here. Beautiful. And we're gonna cut just few squares. We're gonna dice it and make them big so you can get a good taste out of this. That's it. You know, I brought this tiny baking tray with a seal pad. I love seal pads because you use them and you don't have to clean up much afterwards. You know, everything comes off really well out of them. I think they're environmentally friendly. You just get a lot of uses out of this. Whereas if you use parchment paper or aluminum foil, well, you have to dispose of it and use one every time. I get to use this one gazillion times. And they're just fabulous for baking cookies and anything that you need to put in the oven. So I'm going to use some of that beautiful sauce that we just made. Okay? And we're going to sprinkle a little bit on the tofu. And I'm going to put this tofu in the oven at 425. We're going to roast it. We're going to, kind of get a little crust on them, some of those yums, and it's going to also not only impart flavor, but a texture to our dish. That's one of the good things about Chinese food that we like. We like the different flavors, vegetables, textures, rice, noodles. So we're going to get some of that with this delicious, crispy tofu in a minute. So I'm going to put it in the oven at between 425 and 450. This is just a normal oven. Obviously, if you have a convection oven at home, it's a lot faster, and you will get probably a crust in less time. So let's now, since we have that part going on there, let's work on our vegetables, the ones that are going to go into that stir fry. I have also here some soba noodles. If you guys are at home, look at these. And I want you to think about what is what we buy at the grocery store. These ones are Korean soba noodles. And if you read in the back of the package, it says 100% buckwheat. And that's what you want to see on your soba noodles. Sometimes you go to different markets and you find it says soba noodles. And then you read the package on the back and it says only 20-30% buckwheat and the rest is regular wheat. So if you are gluten sensitive or you have an allergy, you shouldn't be buying those noodles. So make sure that you get the right stuff, the one that is 100% buckwheat, also the ones that don't have so much sodium in them. I'm gonna start heating up here some water. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit, maybe, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I have here some love going on in there, but we're gonna use these ones for the stir fry with the tofu. And meanwhile, I'm gonna go back to my cutting board here. I'm gonna give it a good rinse since we already used it for tofu. Remember, sanitation is very important when we're working in the kitchen. Remember that when we use products, they require temperature control, like meats and even tofu, which is a plant-based protein. It still has the same requirements. You need to keep it at the right temperature. So for our stir fry, what am I gonna use today? I'm gonna use some bell pepper, these beautiful bell peppers, red ones. Remember, we're gonna paint that plate with colors. We're gonna use some purple onion. We're gonna use carrots, 1 carrot. And we're gonna use some zucchini and some yellow squash because I like colors. We're gonna use a little bit of green beans, fresh ones. If you don't have fresh ones at home, you can obviously use some frozen. But if you want that crunchiness and that nice flavor, well, we need to maybe spend some time chopping the fresh ones and cleaning those up. I'm going to also reserve some of these vegetables to add to our Thai curry as well. So I have here some carrots already going on. We have green onions and some garlic. And I have a jalapeno. You know that I love spicy food. I cannot live without it. So I have to. And that's when we go and we say, well, how do we make a dish that is Chinese into something that sounds and feels like ours, and is probably for a Latin person or a Mexican person, a jalapeno added to it is a good thing. Might not be 100% Chinese, but they do use chilies. They just use a different kind of chili. It's not the same one that we're gonna use. So it's adjusting our recipes to what we have. So let's start by chopping the onions. And we always talk about stabilizing our vegetables. I cannot, stress more on it. We will keep always this part, and we will discard it later, but not now. We need to keep all those layers from the onion intact. So I'm just gonna take the top, actually is the one that I'm gonna remove, and I'm gonna cut this onion in half. And yes, I'm gonna remove some of that now. And for the stir fries, many people like it in dice. I like julienne. I like long strips. So I'm going to you can do them very beautiful if we do them this way, or we can do them like half slices, and it's faster and easier. So let's go. And I don't have my knives here. I'm working out of a resort in Las Vegas, so this will have to do. And look how beautiful. And as we were talking about, our Asian Heritage Month, yesterday I come across with why this month of celebration was created. And it was actually fairly recent. It was in 1970 when a staffer of a congressman, a lady with the last name Jew, she proposed to have a month to celebrate the Asian heritage in the U.S. And it wasn't until, believe it or not, until 1978, 8 years later, when this celebration was actually granted by, obviously Congress signed the bill, but it was under Jimmy Carter's presidency. And it was only to be a first week of the month of May to have the celebration. And somewhere around 1990, under old President George Bush Sr., when the name became Asian Pacific, and it was granted a full month of celebration. And it wasn't until 2006 when the name complete, or 2009 when it changed to Asian Pacific Islander. So it was very, very interesting. And I just kept digging, and I say, but why is it May? Why did I choose May and not other months? I mean, what is so special about May? Well, May is so special because on May 1843, the first Japanese arrived in the U.S. I mean, it was the first one that is recorded as coming into the U.S. And also because about 26 years later, in 1869, on May 1869, was when the transatlantic railroad was finished completely, and it was built by Chinese Americans. So imagine all the wonderful things that we have that, Asian Americans have brought to our country. And, this makes me think about so many things that have been happening lately against the Asian community in the US, the attacks, and it just breaks my heart, really, that we haven't learned our lessons. It's better to love and coexist than to hate people. But one of the good things is that nobody can deny how much we love Asian food. And researching also, I found that Chinese food has been around since the 1700s in the US, but it wasn't until 1970 when other Asian cuisine started taking off in the US with the fusion movement. Look at these beautiful things here. And we have our water boiling here. So I'm gonna go ahead and parboil my buckwheat. So I think here you can see and I think one package is more than enough. And they come with these beautiful papers, so be careful when you drop them in there. Don't drop them with the paper. I'll give it a little bit more. And I love these noodles. They have a lot of bite in them. So well, I want to ask you guys, those who are watching us from home, what is your favorite Chinese or Asian dish? I really would like to know what you guys like, what you guys order when you go out. So we're gonna let that getting some love in there and cooking. We're gonna keep chopping here our carrots. Remember what I always say, we like to stabilize our vegetables, and then we use our bare claw as we chop. And this is much nicer, when you have a stir fry with julienne pieces. It just looks very, very pretty. It's more aesthetic. You can have it done any other way for sure. So let me see. Can you see this now? Is it better now? Can you guys at home see what I'm doing? Okay, let me, I think maybe this is better. Okay. So trying to get this technology going, eh? Well, I can tell you something. I love pad thai. It's probably one of my favorite, but I love Vietnamese pho as well. So I don't know. I have so many favorite dishes. I love Indian food. I love butter chicken, and I love dal, all the, those delicious grains and beans that we can get in India. I love the colors of their pulses. All their lentils are fabulous. Okay, we have now here these green beans, and we're gonna cut them lengthwise so they look really cute. So maybe in 45, like this. And remember, we don't want to completely kill them when we cook them. We still want them to have some bite, some of that crunchiness, because that's part of a good stir fry. Stir fry that is good is a stir fry that still keeps some texture. Besides, when we eat vegetables, the closer they are to, the less we cook them, the more nutritional value. If we add more heat to them, well, we, we are taking away also a lot from them. So Valen loves peppercorn beef and broccoli. I love that one too. I love that one. And if you add a little bit of spiciness to it, I think it's very delicious too. What else do you guys like there? I mean, you need to share with me. I don't know. It's not very famous probably as Chinese food, but I do love Filipino food. And, the people from the Philippines are really dear to me. We have a great experience when we lived in the Middle East. We were surrounded by the Filipino community. And if you don't have a Filipino friend, I'm telling you, you need to find one, because those people are wonderful. They are super family oriented. They are warm. They are funny. They are the best at karaoke. And their cuisine is fabulous. I love adobo, the chicken adobo. I love pancit canton, caldereta, all these wonderful Filipino dishes. Oh my goodness. I still make them at home. I have good friends teaching them to me, and I just love them. And one of the things is that, there are so many words in the Filipino language that come also from Spanish that it makes socialization with them very, very fun. But don't forget that also the Philippines was part of the U.S. for a good number of years, actually from the late 1800s until 1946. So there are many contributions that the Filipino American community has done. And I believe that it was, I think President Obama had the chef for the White House was a wonderful Filipino chef lady, actually, women power in there. So you guys, you're very quiet in the chat box. I haven't heard anything from you all today. So we have here a good amount of green beans, I think. And I have to tell you something. When I moved back to Houston, after living overseas for almost 15 years, I knew that I wanted to live surrounded by the same communities that I lived during those times overseas, during my years overseas. And for me, it was very important to have, my Asian community around. Okay, we have our noodles here. Oh, look at this. This looks fabulous. So I'm going to show you guys here. They're done. I'm going to chop them now with a little bit of cold water, and we'll have them ready for our stir fry in a little bit. So let me rinse them. Get that so they don't get all stuck. And well, I think since we have already the vegetables going in there, maybe we don't need to mix them. We can start working on our stir fry in a little bit. Let's go back to our camera on the board. There you go. We have here some zucchini and some squash. And look, this is going to be easier. Half, like I always tell you, let's stabilize the vegetables. Why? Because if they don't move, we don't have any chance of cutting our hands. So safety first. So look, we're done. And we do another cut, and we have beautiful strips. And look how colorful. It's looking so pretty already. I love it. And that's one of the things that I like the most about Chinese food. How much vegetables it has, and how nice their vegetables are, because they are still alive. They're not mushy. So that's what we're going to do today. My tofu is already smelling good in the oven. Yep. So we're going to start stir frying this. I brought with me my pans because, I didn't know if this resort will have what I needed for cooking today. So, Gloria's favorite is pho. I love pho. Oh, Sharon loves samosas and curries. I do too. I love samosas. I love them, love them, love them. And I love them with all the sauces and the chutneys that you can find. The spicier, the better. Okay, we're going to add also some bell pepper. And remember, I already washed all my vegetables. You have to do that at home. We're not going to cook without washing things really well. I'm just removing now the seeds because, well, who wants to eat those seeds? I don't mind eating the seeds of the jalapeno, but the ones of the bell pepper, I don't think so. And as you can see, I don't peel my zucchini or my squash or even my carrots. I just scrub all things really well, and then I have them ready. We have to keep as much nutrients from all our vegetables. So look at this. Now we have all these colors, a rainbow of colors. So obviously, if you have bean sprouts available, you can use them. You can always substitute and use the vegetable that you like the most, You can use also snow pieces. You can add broccolini. You can use anything almost. Somebody likes here dumplings. Oh, I love dumplings too. Actually, last week I made some dumplings at home to leave for my kids so they had something to eat while I was away. So let's move the camera and go to our pan here. And I'm turning on the heat here. I'm going to get also, let me fix this maybe. Is it better here? Okay. Okay, hopefully that's a good view. I have here our tofu. Look, it's nice, it's firm, it's flavorful. And we're going to use it a little bit later when we mix everything. So I'm going to even move this camera so you can get 2 views of what I'm doing. I have my sauce here, which we're going to mix a little bit in the stir fry. And I have some oil. And I want to show you guys before we start doing, let the pan kind of get really hot, because that's one of the secrets to have a good stir fry. You need to let the pan be really, really, really hot. Okay, that looks better. So working with ginger, you see this piece of ginger here. Many people don't know how to work with it. Some people don't mind. I wash the ginger and sometimes I don't peel it because it doesn't have any sand or any soil in there. But if you want to peel it, this is the way to go, with a spoon. So we go, look how easy it is. Okay, let me show how it's done. Maybe, okay, let's do it this way. Yes. And look, it is so easy. Look. And yes, we're going to use some of this delicious ginger on our stir fry. I'm going to chop now a little bit. I just don't want to put it from the beginning. I don't want to burn it. And we're also going to use some garlic. I have here these beautiful cloves of garlic. But look how easy, we got this ginger almost peeled completely in no time. If you try to do that with the potato peeler, it will take a lot longer. So I'm gonna, again, my bare cloth, so you guys can see. And I think our pan is looking mighty hot over there. So let's go back to the stove, okay? Yes. So our oil is here. Very little. That's what a stir fry is all about. It's cooking with minimal amount of oil. And we're gonna start. Look how pretty. And I know this is crazy, but I love cooking with this. It's so much easier when you cook noodles or Chinese food to use chopsticks. It is. That's it. There is no other reason. So, oopsie. And look how pretty. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Huh? It looks beautiful and colorful. Rainbow food, absolutely. We have purple, orange, yellow, red, green. Oh my goodness. A little bit of everything in here. And why do we want to paint our plate with colors? Because each color gives our body a different nutrient. And I think Asian people have that right, One of the things that I was reading the other day about, what is called those blue zones in the world. And, one of the, obviously, lifestyle has a lot to do as well. And it's the way people eat in those areas. They have a different pace. They have family around, but they eat. And those places tend to be places where people are eating more vegetables, less amount of maybe greasy or saturated fats, let's put it that way. Then we have many of these places in the Mediterranean. We have one in Japan, and I believe California has one spot there as well. So look at this. I am going to add some of this beautiful sauce because that will add flavor. And this is gonna go really fast now. Yes. You see, these vegetables are still alive. They're not dead. They're still crunchy and delicious. And we have our noodles here. We didn't do anything to them. They're still, nice. Look, they're not stuck. We're ready to put them in there also. I'm going to add only and only our ginger and garlic because I want those flavors to be fresh. And we're going to add some scallions, some green onions. So I'm going to leave for now. I'm going to move back to our cutting board here. Okay, let's see if we get the technology working on my favor. Okay, I think it's good now. So we have here some garlic. And I here have some ginger as well. So I'm gonna pile up the ginger because I already sliced it thinly, and I'm gonna make just little juliennes as well. And then we're gonna chop, chop, chop and create little pieces. Okay, let's spray them. This knife works with me. And I have here this garlic. It looks lovely. And these veggies are looking good over there as well. Okay, let's do this really quick because we still have more food to cook. So let's put here let's add the noodles. Look how beautiful. This looks awesome in my opinion. And we will add now the tofu. Look how pretty. And we need to add some of the sauce, a little bit. And this sauce gives me like a little feeling of the same, like the hoisin sauce or some of those really delicious sauces that we eat the Chinese restaurant, but that have all the other things that we don't want to eat as well. So this is a lot healthier, but still is packed with flavors. It has a lot of good flavors. So this is done. Yes, it is. And all we have left is some scallions. Look at that color. This looks fabulous. And maybe some leaves of cilantro because it just adds freshness. So what do you guys think? I'm going to show you this right now. What do you think? I think it looks fabulous. And I'm going to serve a little bowl and we're going to taste it and we're going to go immediately to our Thai curry, which will be very easy. I already have the rice ready for the Thai curry. So that won't take very long. Look at this. Look at those colors in here. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. Okay. The moment of truth. Look at this delicious plate here. I'm moving the camera. You know, guys, you know when something is good, it's good. A little bit more green onions. And I'm gonna sample this baby. And I'm telling you, this is so beautiful and so delicious in my kitchen here. It smells just fantastic. So let's go for it. Mmm, 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 mmm. I can taste the ginger, the crunchiness of the vegetables. The tofu is well seasoned. I think it needs nothing, just people hungry to eat it. So let's go to our red Thai curry now. I'm gonna move the plate here. And I'm gonna move. Maybe my husband will come now and munch on it. And for our red Thai curry, we have, I'm gonna put it here on the table. You guys can, we have chicken that I already clean and dice because, well, time is of the essence now. I'm gonna remember sanitation. I know that I work with only vegetables, but still, we're changing recipe. We are gonna clean the board. I'm not gonna put the chicken in there anymore. It's already chopped. But I need to chop some onions for the Thai curry, and we're gonna do that really fast. I'm gonna dice it. So remember, we keep the ends because it keeps all the layers of the onion intact. So when you're dicing, it just makes dicing a lot faster. And now we go bear claw. And look, you get these beautiful, even squares. And that's what you're looking for when you are dicing something, you know. Let's finish this. I cut at the beginning. And for this recipe, we have 1 can of coconut milk. I'm gonna show it to you guys here. We're gonna have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're gonna have some lime juice, basil leaves, some oil, obviously, so we can saute the chicken. We'll have red Thai curry paste right here. And if you are plant-based, obviously you don't need to use chicken. You can use tofu, or you can use just a mixture of vegetables. For now, we're gonna use this red curry paste. Is fantastic. Making a curry paste from scratch, yes, I know how to make it. I love it, but you know something, we don't have all the time to make that. You know, if you can spend a good time in the kitchen doing the lemongrass and the chiles and garlic and ginger and cumin seeds and all of that is required, well, that's great. But you know, the reality is that there is nothing wrong with using something that is sometimes it's just so good. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of this red curry paste and some green onions. I have also here, because, well, I like veggies, I have some carrots that I cut very cute, like looking like flowers. And I will let you know how that one is done too. Let's start cooking that chicken. Time is of the essence. Let's move this. And one of the good things about this Thai curry paste is that it comes with everything. It's ready in there. Look how it comes. And this will last you a long, long time. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil. tiny amount. It's no big deal. Remember also the coconut milk will provide some flavor and salt to it. So we have to be careful. I'm going to put the chicken in there and let it work its magic. So I'm gonna get the curry paste because I want that curry paste to infuse the chicken. And that's one of the good things when you are working with these pastes is to add them at the beginning of the preparation so they dissolve with the liquid in the chicken or in the tofu or in any of the vegetables that you are. So they come with enough chili. If you like it more spicy, well, maybe you can add some more. Let me get a spoon so we can. Okay. And it has a lovely color. Look how nice it's looking in here. Let me move the camera. Yeah, maybe better like this. I think this way. Uh-huh. This is looking delicious. And let's go back to our celebration for the Asian Pacific. Among all the facts that I could find, and this one was very, very interesting, is legislation for women in terms of assault was brought up actually by Vietnamese American in the early 2000s, and it was, she was surprised that when she came forward to with her complaint, there was nothing that will help her. Another one is in terms of farm workers and laws protecting them. A Filipino American also is a little bit of salt maybe because it's a lot of chicken, and we're gonna add the sweetness of the coconut milk. Him and Cesar Chavez were among the people that push the boundaries to create, awareness and make changes. The creator of the USB is an Indian American in the 1990s. So the scientists that discovered the retroviral medication for kids with babies with HIV, newborns, a Filipino American. So there are so many illustrious people that are worth mentioning, but I don't have all those facts now. So I'm gonna add the onions to the chicken to help it, wilt and cook. And this is gonna be fast. You don't want to overcook the chicken also. You don't want it to become rubbery. You want that chicken to be obviously fully cooked, but still tender. Let me move this a little bit here. There you go. So, ooh, yes. This is smelling here divine. I'm telling you, divine. Look how fast this is cooking. Super. The chili is coming. Woo! My goodness. I have here these beautiful carrots that I'm going to add in there so they can also get wilted a little bit. I'm here and the making more of those beautiful carrot flowers. And I promise to teach you how to do that. Okay, you can do that with a knife, or you can also do it with this handy dandy equipment, but you can also do it with a knife. So with the handy dandy, you basically run it down and you make like little indentations all around. I was always in awe of how pretty the vegetables are cut in the Chinese restaurants. Well, I figured it out. If you don't have this handy dandy equipment, you can also do the same with a knife. Basically, you run the knife inside and then you go the other. So let's see, because this one has been already done, but maybe I can show. So you cut this way and then you cut the other way. And then you can create the same indentation. You see? So now you have their little flowers. We can make little flowers out of this zucchini as well. So we can go inside and outside. We cut on one side, we cut on the other, and we can get that peak in there. And then we do it a couple of times all around so we can get that beautiful flower shapes. Look, another one. I think you got the hint. It's very easy. And then you have beautiful little flowers. Obviously, this little gadget is worth every penny. Because, well, you get strips out of it, but you can get, and look how pretty, huh? So we're gonna get a beautiful flower here, a yellow flower. I'm gonna cut it. Let's see. Ooh, this chicken. Well, I think we're ready to add the coconut milk. Well, it's pretty thick and beautiful, and it just has such a wonderful flavor. So now let's lower the heat. And we have a pretty awesome Thai curry here. Oh, the smell of the coconut is divine. It's to die for. Oh. And it just, the coconut milk, it just thickens the sauce. It's just beautiful. Oh, my goodness. This is so, so delicious. And yes, you can put a little bit of ginger, a little more if you want to. But remember, your curry paste comes with everything pretty much. Oh, it is so delicious and fragrant. And, well, we're going to add a little color to that with some of these flowers that we're making. Remember, I left a little bit of the zucchini and squash just to add a little bit more nutritional value. Remember what I always tell you guys on our broadcast, I'm the queen of the contraband, and that's how I make my kids eat their vegetables. They just eat them because they are hidden in there. They don't know what they are. When they were little, they used to think it was fun to have those beautiful flowers. I'm gonna move the camera again so you guys can see how it looks like when I'm making those flowers. Look how pretty. And I did this one pretty much with a knife, not with the little gadget that I have. So you can get them done either way. And they're just pretty. And they cook super fast. Remember, we want those vegetables still alive and crunchy. This is going to be so good. I already cooked some brown rice. Remember how important it is to eat our whole grains. You know, I know that we talk about how good it is to eat all the parts of a grain, the bran, the endosperm, and the germ. Everything is important. I'm going to put this back in the curry, let it get some flavor for a few minutes only. I think it looks okay. There, better. Okay, let's see. And this is awesome. Look, it is delicious. We're gonna add some basil leaves to this, a little bit of lemon juice and lemon peel as well. You can see the recipe now right there on the screen. Look, now it's looking more like the rainbow. And I'm gonna go as far as to add a little bit of red bell pepper because it adds color, it adds flavor. And if you want a vegetable red Thai curry, it will have all these vegetables. It will have even eggplant, which I love too. So look how different. Now we're talking. Now. And I have here my beautiful basil leaves, and I have my lime. And when I make my own red Thai curry paste, I even add a little bit of the skin of the lemon when I cook the Thai curry, and then I'll take it out before I serve it because it just adds this freshness to the dish. So, you know, those are little tricks that make your dish taste even more authentic. You know, in India, Thai food is actually very, very popular. You know, most restaurants, you will find Thai recipes or Thai items in the menu of the Indian restaurants. You also have in India a large population that is close to Mongolia, close to China, and you know, and they have a ton of recipes that are Indian Chinese. One of my favorite ones is the chicken Manchurian, gobi Manchurian. Those are actually cauliflower cooked in this delicious red sauce, spicy with tons of garlic. So I'm gonna put back the camera here to the cutting board. Now chopping some of that beautiful basil just to add flavor, final touches to the Thai curry. I'm gonna juice a little bit of that lemon on the pan over there and add some scallions, and we're pretty much done here. Yes, we are. So, little bit of this juice, you can see I'm adding here. It also kind of cuts a little bit of the, you know, the sweetness of the coconut milk. So it's quite delicious. Let's get a good look at this. What do you guys think of this? Isn't it beautiful? I think it's awesome. I think it's so, so delicious. So, the vegetables are still very much alive. The chicken is tender. The sauce is creamy. And we're going to add now the basil because we want that flavor in there. It just gives that floury, delicious flavor. We're going to add some of these scallions as well, or green onions. And we're done. We're done here. We're going to serve this with some steamed brown rice. Look what it is. Right here, we have our brown rice. What an awesome dish. And how easy it is. If you buy your chicken breast and you chop it and you have it ready and you come home, you just boil the rice and you add those veggies and the sauce, your can of coconut milk, and you are done. Done. And your kids probably will think that it was takeout, but it's not. So let's get a bowl and serve some of these delicious I have some rice here. And we're going to add to that. Oh, yum. Look at that. Beautiful. Some of those vegetables that we cut. Look how pretty, huh? Why not? Why not add some more vegetables to our food, our dish? It could have been only chicken and onions, but no, we can always go a step further. I'm going to turn it off. This is done with residual heat. It will finish cooking. You don't need any more. Just a tiny touch of scallions. And I'm going to taste it. What do you think? I think so. We taste. Let's see. Oh, the sauce is divine. Smells. It's floury. It's fresh. It's fragrant. Fantastic. And now we're gonna make our mango lassi, because everyone needs a little sweet in their life. And what a better sweet than a natural one. So I have here, it's as simple as this. We have here mango, You can use frozen, which is actually very good too and easy because it's already peeled. It's been done for you. And if it's not in season, you have it ready. So I found this one yesterday. And I have here some yogurt, just plain yogurt. You don't need to use anything with sweeteners because it's just delicious. And we can use a little bit of honey instead to sweeten it, or you can add monk fruit if you want to, or a little bit of stevia. It's your choice. But our recipe, can we put the recipe for the mango lassi, please? So I have here our yogurt. And we have a blender here. You see, we have there a beautiful recipe. I'm going to probably make just half of that because that's a lot. I think that recipe is for 4 people, and it's only my husband and I today. I don't have my troop here. I miss them already, but I needed the break too. So here it is. We have here mango, as simple as that. Let me wash the spoon because we don't want to put One spoon in the yogurt if it's not clean. And we're gonna put two cups of yogurt. I'm gonna use probably only 1 cup because I'm making less. And these mangoes are so sweet, really. You don't even need the honey. You can do it, or I'm gonna just add maybe a little squirt. I like to feel the flavor of the mango for sure. So let's blend this. And you know something? My contrabando will tell me put a little bit of chia seeds in it. Or, oopsie. Oh my goodness. My phone came down. Tech issues here. I will even go as far as to say maybe some hemp seeds in there, maybe a little bit of flax seeds or chia seeds, if you have them. But just like it is now, it's nice and creamy and thick and beautiful. And look at this. And I will say to you guys, cheers. And cheers to the Asian American community. You guys rock. I think we have so much that we owe you, and our country is so much better because you guys are here, like all the other ethnic groups that are in this country, making America great. So this is to you guys, with love from me. I can say only that my life is better because I had the opportunity to live in Asia for almost 10 years. Those 3 years in India were a gift to me and to my children. Those 7 years in the Middle East, in Qatar and Abu Dhabi, were another gift. And nobody knows how great it is to be surrounded by you people and how welcoming you are in your own country. So cheers to you. Love to everyone. And I'll see you guys next month for another edition of our broadcast of cooking throughout the century.
Thank you so much, Chef Dubraska. Your dishes really looked amazing. I'd like to make them for my own family one day.
Well, I hope you do. They're delicious.
Awesome.
And it's that common thread. You can relate to any culture with food, you know.
Yes, definitely.
A language of love. And I have here a lot to eat tonight.
So thanks to everyone for being with us tonight. Again, in an effort to better understand the community they're serving, Common Threads does have a quick survey that should take just less than a minute to complete. If you want to complete that, the link is in the chat, so please take the time and fill out this quick survey for them. Also, please follow them on social media for future events. Once again, please visit our website at www.hcpl.net to learn about all of our upcoming programs and services. And have a good evening, everybody.